Good evening, Vectrekkers. I have had an amazing 2.5 week block of dedicated coding time focused on my Alpine Rescue game. And I can't wait to show you what I accomplished during that time. But first, I do want to show you what I've been up to this past couple months. So the first thing I started doing this year was I wanted to work on a Centipede clone. So I got really passionate about Centipede and the history of it and why hasn't it been done for the Vectrex. And I began going down that path, which it turns out Malban has gone very far down the path already. So I'm going to have to do a whole nother video about that when I get back into it, but I've sort of decided that's going to be my next game for the Vectrex. It won't be exactly Centipede, it's going to be a different version that's really catered to the strengths of the Vectrex. I'm excited about that, and I'll show you more details once Alpine Rescue is really wrapping up. A bigger project that I got involved in was making a holographic display for the Vectrex, so it could display similar to the 1990s holographic arcade game called Time Traveler by Sega. That one really impressed me when I saw it in a movie theater. I just thought it was really pretty magical, and I hadn't seen anything like it, and I haven't seen anything like it since. And it was surprisingly simple to make by using a black concave mirror, which I made using a concave bowl from Amazon and some black shiny mirror paint. So I'll link all that in the notes down below. The results turned out really well, and I want to make a dedicated video about this project. I knew I was on the right path when the paint had dried and I set the bowls out on a counter, and I came down that morning and the sun was reflecting into the windows. And so what you see here is a reflection of the windows. And it just caught my eye. It was like hovering in space in front of the bowls on top of the counter. And it was perfect. It was exactly the effect I was going for, except it was upside down. It's a great effect, and it works especially well with the Vectrex because you want a pure black screen that has no light emitting from it, because that ruins the effect if you have any ambient light. So that's why I paint the inside of the box black. And then you have the lines of the Vectrex, they just are beautiful, and they shine, and they hover in space. So it's so great. I don't know when I'll make the video about it, but it'll be awesome. Now let's jump into Alpine Rescue. I knew this block of time was coming where I could work on the game, so I went ahead and started planning out in my mind and on paper what I wanted to accomplish in those 2 weeks. And the first week I wanted to focus on the rappelling level, or abseiling, depending on which your preference. The level where you're going down the mountain to rescue the survivor. You've followed the clues on the snowmobile in a 3D racing stage, and then you get to the edge of the cliff, and there'll be a little cutscene, and then you are now going down the cliff. So let's jump into that. So you start at the menu, and you go ahead and go to practice mode, and you go to cliff climb, and now we're ready to do some abseiling or rappelling. And you start off here at the top of the mountain. I need to work on some art there. Once again, you're trying to gather the letters. And those are just coins that give you points. And you're trying to spell the word rescue, R-E-S-C-U-E. And right now, this is the easy mode. After the mountains go off the screen, the snow begins to fall. And the snow, I tried to keep the small flakes to the right of the cliff. When they were to the left of the cliff, it made it look transparent. But the big snowflakes there, they're in the front, foreground, and they fall in the front. Once you get all the letters, and you avoid landing on those spiky spikes, then you will have maybe 2 or 3 more coins, and then the survivor appears on a ledge below. And this level is created dynamically, randomly. I use a random seed, so there he is. And I changed the random seed, so he appeared a lot quicker than he normally does with this particular seed. That's what happens when you die. And then it goes to this cutscene. So you're pushing up a daisy. that's based on a dream a friend of mine had. He dreamed he fell off a cliff, and then a daisy came up. He just like watched a daisy come up after he landed in the ground. So it's kind of funny. So yeah, that's the death animation. I like how the mountain kind of slides off the screen. I'm not going to repeat it, but anyway. That's the rappelling level. A lot of work to go still. I need to add the Yeti and some other things to it. Add more terrain types as you're going down. But I'm pretty happy with it, other than also the jumping physics. I want to work on that. So I'm just going to restart here and show you helicopter mode. So this I just finished last week. The majority of it. I mean, there's still a lot to go as well. I really like the sound effect I've done with the helicopter. I'm pretty happy with that. So the arrow that's spinning, that tells you the wind direction. That spinning arrow right now. So now it's going, the wind is pushing downwards into the angle sideways. And now it's pushing sideways. You can lower your rescue cot and pick up things. So it's kind of like a glorified crane game at the arcade. Here you're picking up the letter R. And then you're picking up coins. So it'll be like a letter and then 2 coins and letter. The other neat thing is that every time you get a letter, you'll have an extra extension to your helicopter rope, rescue rope. So once we get this E, watch that wind. After I get the E, I'll now be able to go even further down into the chasm. There it goes. Look how deep we're going now. But yeah, you always got to watch that wind. And you also have to kind of watch where your cot's going. Ooh, almost touched the ground there. So it's definitely challenging. This is basically level 1 difficulty. As the difficulty increases, I can do a couple of things. I can make the wind push harder. I can make the wind change direction faster, more often. Could also make the walls more restricting. Hanging out at the top there, sorry. I guess I'm off your screen. But I'm on the Vectrex screen. It's just I didn't line my camera up right. What else? A little bit of the rope physics here as well, not dynamics, I should say. It bends a little bit. It's a little tighter than the rappel, obviously. Here comes the letter C. Pushing me down there. I need to focus a little more as it is interesting because your eyes watching the cot down there and you sort of forget to watch your helicopter. You're listening to the sound though, so as you go higher you can tell your frequency goes up a little bit. Sometimes you forget to notice that your sound has gotten lower and you're getting perilously close to the cliff, and you really focus on the cot picking things up. Alright, you should have the person appear really soon. Oh, I still have to get the letter E. Way down in there. The wind is always pushing down when I need to get things. Look how deep we can reach there. So this is actually, it's more fun than it probably looks like, because you really feel like it's sort of like flying a kite or something. It's like flying a helicopter, I guess. You always feel like you're kind of pulling and pushing against the wind, and it feels pretty responsive. And you just push your button to lower, and you let the button up, and it pulls it back up slower. That guy I have to reach a little deeper down for. I guess he hops down onto the cot. So that's it. And you can definitely crash if I go over to like where the ledge is at. I don't have anything that happens when you crash yet. It just kind of gets stuck in this loop. It's broken. Of course, I haven't finished that yet. And there's things to add. There's Yetis and everything too here as well. So hope you're excited about that. I'm pretty excited. Really excited. Oh, I didn't even mention, but I'm sure you noticed the snow blows in the direction of the wind. So that's kind of your clue as well. Hey, listen, guys, I really appreciate everyone who stayed subscribed, even though I haven't released a video in quite a while. I am going to be focusing a lot on my development for Alpine Rescue, as I plan to finish it up by the end of the year. And also, I will be releasing some more videos, but probably it won't be a development video for a little while until I have something more to show. The next video will probably be something more fun, like, you know, an instruction manual art versus real pixels like I did for Castlevania and for Contra. This one will be probably for Bionic Commando by request. The other video I might do will be something like a musical montage recorded off real equipment, like my Tandy 1000 that I did for Space Quest. So something along those lines. If I release a video soon, it's probably going to be one of those. I also want to make a video, of course, like I said, about the holographic display for the Vectrex, and that's an ongoing project though, and I probably won't touch that for a little while. And also a video about my upcoming Centipede game, but that'll be further, probably next year before I really dive into that one. So stay tuned, there's a lot more to come, but I appreciate everyone who's sticking with me so far. Thank you for the comments, encouragements, your thoughts. It's all valuable. As always, I appreciate the Vectrex Fans Unite group on Facebook. You guys are awesome. And also those in the help forums too. So thanks everyone, and see you next time.